I'm asking whose map choice. So Voodoo against Adjuton on Vya-3 protectorate. It's a nice map with huge amount of reclaim, and in bottom left corner Adjuton as Seraphim, and top right corner Voodoo as his usual UEF. 1, 2, 8 is pretty heavy on power, 8 power generators into air factory, and 5, 6, 7 more usual for Adjuton. Not sure what that means. Like 8, it could be transport without any assists, or he just will make other factories with a lot of assisting, so it does require more mass and more power, and more mass he will definitely have from these reclaiming missions. Both players actually using manual reclaim and idle engineers because of manual reclaim. So it's a tournament game, you can see. Manual reclaim, 4th unit from Adjuton, the tank. He see Voodoo is UEF, he may assume light assault bots, because Seraphim have no light assault bots, they can only defend with tanks. Or maybe he just wants to be aggressive with that unit by himself. And Voodoo sees that it's a huge map. He already have 5 engineers, and 6th one here, he actually just infinity production of engineer in his factory. 2nd tank from Adjuton going up. So I would, yeah, 2nd factory from Voodoo must come fast, and you can see this air factory going up with huge assist, so your mass is spending faster and power is spending faster. That's why it's 8 power generators, not 7 or 6, how you can see in build order manual or build order tutorial. Those things are much better thought out. Adjuton is kinda splitting his production, like some engineers making factories, some making power. Well, Voodoo is doing the same thing right now, but before he was building like with power with all engineers, and same thing with all factories. That's what I like to do, because all your build capacity working on one building at a time, that's in my opinion very good. However, it does not very efficient pathfinding wise, because you have too many engineers in one place and they constantly bump it into each other, and if bomber appears they all can be killed. So nobody is hunting for scouts yet, and there are bomber. A lot of interceptors already up for Voodoo because his factory were up earlier, and Adjuton scouts bomber. It doesn't, well, he saw it for long time period, so he may see that it's a bomber, not, I mean, he may have enough time to pay attention. You can see interceptors trying to chase scouts. I wonder if scouts would fly around some around here, and interceptors would, when they would follow on inner ring, and may just try to make enemy interceptors to fly under civilian anti-air. First extractor upgrade for Voodoo, and 1 extractor already done for Adjuton. He's working on 2nd one, and Adjuton is behind in factory count. However, it doesn't really bothers him. Awful UAF bombers, actually not even much escorted by air, and oh, that's awful. It's probably even easier to make proper air crash on this engineer than bomb it with actual bombs. And transport is in construction from Voodoo. That's a great thing. Earlier in Grandmaster Cap we saw how Icy managed to drop engineers in the middle while transport was under fire from all 4 anti-air. However, engineers dropped too close to T1 PD and they got killed. I don't think Voodoo will try something like this. He will most likely drop on bottom side. So his logic, like it's already secure. Oh, he dropping 3 there and 3 there most likely. And you can see he's not making any mistakes flying on near civilians. Adjuton have scouts patrolling in both expansions, so he will immediately notice that Voodoo dropped there. He may just move units there, but Voodoo may construct T1 PD. But as Seraphim, you always mix artilleries in your armies. Actually not large count of artilleries for Adjuton. Let's see economy, they are equal on economy. Voodoo however have power stall, 4 engineers on power, 2 engineers on power, 2 engineers on power. That's how he works on his power right now. There are just constantly 2 engineers and some forest reclaim, so it doesn't really we doesn't really understand. Oh, that's actually very easy explanation why Voodoo have no power. Reclaim 7,000, Adjuton 3,000. That's why he can get away with less power. That means that Voodoo actually using more mass. That's still strange for me. I can't 100% understand what and why. Not much attention from Adjuton. He's not immediately sending units. He's not producing bombers to deny this expansion. This plane patrolling here and this interceptor patrolling here like forever, and this scout not getting killed forever as well as this one. Scouts are really hard to kill. You need to micro and predict to kill them. So Voodoo managed to drop on both expansions. He is ahead in power production, ahead in reclaim. However, I would assume Adjuton is ahead in economy. 3 extractors T2. And actually I don't see any other upgrades for him. Let's see Voodoo. Only 1 on T2, and actually he's getting Tech 3 extractor. That's definitely a misclick or just general mistake. I bet he's not meant to be getting Tech 3 extractor. Let's at least hope that he will surround it with storages after it gets completed. You can see he constantly losing 21 mass and pretty much of power. He still doesn't have enough power. Just 3 engineers here and 4 engineers here constructing power. Still don't have enough power. Great reclaiming from Voodoo. Let's see, 13,000 reclaim, 7,000 from Adjuton. Now he started reclaiming, facing same problem, but economy wise, he decided to go for T2 power. Actually, I noticed that nobody's trying to stop Air Factory production. Looks like this expansion is temporarily safe, because there are no artillery to kill this PD. This expansion absolutely safe, because Adjuton just built one factory there, and it only was used to reclaim. You can see he kinda prioritized power reclaim because he doesn't have enough power. But now he will need massive upgrades or massive spam, because he suddenly have power and mass. And actually key moment what he decides to do, and he decides to upgrade whole bunch of extractors. I think 3 already in upgrade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extractors at the same time. That's what happens when you build T2 power. That's often, that's happening often, and that's big deal in this game, this T2 power. You can see Adjuton spiking ahead in power production, and one of the things that I always notice, this T1 power construction just takes a lot of power. 50-41 power from Voodoo and 37 from Adjuton. So far it's not super huge difference, but Voodoo might want to... Yes, he's making transition to T2 power, so it's nice. This expansion under pressure, and this one is not, but this map is more like about reclaim. You can see how aggressively Voodoo is reclaiming. Adjuton actually taking middle, but not taking extractors. Those building not worth really much. Mobile flag and T2 bots from Adjuton. I would say he has the air advantage, but he may not know it, so he constructing flag. No storages yet from... Actually, let's see Adjuton's eco. Hardcore mass stall while 5 extractors upgrading at the same time. That's not great. That's not great at all. Now they finished, and his economy is fine except some huge power overflow. So here is Tech 3 extractor from Voodoo without any storages. That's what some high rated players with good economy skills would say painful to watch. So you can see Voodoo's maneuvering around these areas, as probably he is actually assuming that there should be engineers that should reclaim this enormous amount of mass, but there are no engineers there. Adjuton have 16,000 reclaim, and Voodoo have 27,000 reclaim. This expansion is dead for Voodoo, and Adjuton have engineers here that can begin reclaiming. Big deal for Voodoo that he's getting this reclaim as well. Like, that's those 2 rocks that he definitely must have, and this one that's in his base, he must reclaim them. But those one more like in the middle of the map. And pillars doing great job for Voodoo. I would say they're inferior compared to Ishavok, but Voodoo have a lot of spam, and that's not the map where you want to make mongoose and try to micro them around. A lot of T2 PDs, and if Voodoo will well place his artilleries, they could actually kill a lot of stuff here. And so far, somehow, Voodoo is not much ahead in score, which is strange, but I think he should be pretty soon. That strange thing, he didn't stop his T1 power spam. let's see. His economy is more balanced than Adjuton's. And Seraphim is not that faction that could add mobile shield on T2 stage. Huge Ishavok protection from Adjuton. That can actually be a big deal. He using T2 PDs to hold on the left and ACU that can overcharge. And that's lost units from Voodoo. That's because of beam bug. He can see that something is shooting them actually. And Ishavok can kite here. Even if something's shooting, it's not the whole enemy army shooting Ishavok. So it's more reclaim for Adjuton. Maybe he doesn't really know about rocks here that's getting reclaimed right near his view. I mean, just it's his rocks, they're being reclaimed by Voodoo. However, Voodoo bringing some reclaim. And now let's see air. Count 65 interceptors, Voodoo, Adjuton 59 and flag. Suddenly flag. Gunship and flag is dying here. Not sure what Voodoo's doing with his interceptors. I would assume, oh, Adjuton is microing his air, so he can win that. Those attacks not doing much from Voodoo. He have map control, however attacks that he's doing are not working. He should capture middle. He captured a lot of this. I mean, he reclaimed a lot of middle mass. However, something is wrong here. This T2 stage, Voodoo is aggressive on T2 stage with pillars. Those T2 PDs 9 kills, 14 kills, 14 kills, 2 kills, T2 shield will make this position even stronger. 7, 9, 10 kills. Each of of 13, 1 kill, 5, 6, 11, 10, 6. And some T2 tanks. And actually now huge advantage for Adjuton and Interceptors, some mass field here that he may reclaim when he will need mass. He always need mass, but when he will really need mass, he might think about reclaiming all those planes. I think it's worth it. And Tech 3 air is done for Adjuton. However, he's AC on the front line, so how he will manage to upgrade resource allocation in this position without losing Raider and T2 PD, or he will just make Tech 3 power. I would make resource allocation for sure. And T2 bots are quite unstoppable. Voodoo's plan is T2 air. Well, yeah, T2 air is great to deny expansions. Expansions that Adjuton don't have. Voodoo still did notice about his extractor here, but he will right now surround it. I think if he notices, he will surround it first. Still T1 power production, which is a bit strange. Let's see, Voodoo have full scout about Tech 3 air factory. To upgrade it on these extractors for Adjuton. Let's see, 11 T2 extractors for Voodoo, 12 for Adjuton, and storage count is similar. He's getting resource allocation while he builds some Tech 3 engineers and he paused a lot of stuff excluding shields, which is a bit weird for me as well. Again, second try for Voodoo. 48 interceptors against 53, and Adjuton managed to finish his resource allocation, so his raider is back. And those gunships killing reclaiming engineers. What's happening? Micro is happening from Adjuton. No micro from Voodoo. Now he's microing. Gunships are aiming for power. This production should be continued. Those factories are on. Oh, what? I would like to see what happens there, because it looked like they all got under shield. Lucky Adjuton getting second resource location. This T2 power destruction absolutely not hurting him. Well, it does hurt, but second resource location is almost finished, and he have more than 3,500 of power. That's more than enough to finish it. Second resource allocation is done, and Adjuton is skyrocketing in power production, while Voodoo have a lot of power by building T2 power and T1 shit. This may be excessive. I mean, do he really need another power? He's upgrading several tactic extractors at the same time. Eco count is same for both players. Percival's on the field for Voodoo. However, Voodoo is not upgrading those tactic extractors. He will fall behind in economy as soon as those extractors will be upgraded. That's a bit strange. Whole bunch of factories around here could easily produce some flak. So the plan for Voodoo was to destroy all power of Adjuton. I wonder if he should have used Janus bombers for that purpose. Even when standing and facing Lobo fire and Mongoose fire and mobile missile fire in the face, Ishavoks don't die fast enough, and providing safe reclaim for those engineers. Let's see reclaim numbers again. 51,000, 52,000 for Adjuton and 47,000 for Voodoo. He fall behind in reclaim game because he was feeding Adjuton with his T2 attacks, which were really cost ineffective. And Adjuton not even making strat bombers, which is insanely strange. I would just make one strat bomber and try to make some multi-bombing of extractors, because I mean, like bomb here, bomb here, bomb here, second this one is shielded, bomb maybe this T2, then some others. Finally, Percival's on the field. Finally, some units that can actually deal with Ishavoks. They will deal with them with 2 shots. SF production from both sides. And heavy shield for Adjuton. His PD is shooting ground here, which is very, very unfortunate and even dangerous, because it's just one Percival now, but soon there will be more. Those Adjuton managed to get this expansion and secure it with just some engineers that wandering around. Percival getting kills. It won't one-shot this one. Oh, Lobo. Oh, that's wasted shot. T2PDs actually managed to shoot that one. T2PDs of Seraphim are great. Scout planes from Adjuton, and if he managed to get air control, he can just defend any attacks with strategic bombers, but he decided to go for chicken bot. That's pretty good choice. In my game, in Grandmaster tournament against Voodoo, he just skipped Tech 3 stage and go for chicken bot because bricks were too much for Seraphim to deal with, as well as Percival's. So this chicken bot is maybe, it should be good idea, however Adjuton should be sure that amount of defense that he have here is enough, which is actually a bit strange. If there are enough defense, he doesn't even need chicken bot maybe, but of course if enough Percival's come, and Voodoo will finally realize that he can get Tech 3 artilleries. So Adjuton is behind in economy. Adjuton is ahead in economy, ahead in mass, again ahead in power. He should have more SF, 11. Voodoo have 9. And Adjuton have complete scout information. Engineers against engineers. Still Ishavox on the field, working great. Engineers reclaim mobile missile launcher. Those Percivals need to move to this middle and deny 2 extractors, at least something they can do. So I can say that Voodoo is falling behind rapidly. He can't stop chicken bot, he can't get air advantage, he doesn't have efficient power production, he have a lot of T1 and a lot of T2, while Adjuton have resource location, double resource location and 2-2 power. And Seraphim T2PDs are best T2PDs, they don't miss, they have most DPS. And even if they killed one T2 tank, they can actually damage, can start damage next one. So this position can be just another reclaim field for Adjuton. He needed more shielded T1 PDs that he lost. Yeah, Percivals died, Pillars died, and T2 bots finishing everything. Chicken is almost complete. All this time Adjuton is ahead in economy. Actually no, economy is same, Voodoo just got resource location. I still don't know whose map choice that was. Probably that was actually Voodoo's map choice. So maybe you can see that he was confident and was pushing on Adjuton, but it didn't work out very well. Yeah, Percivals are great, but chicken bot or T4 Seraphim bot is far superior. Voodoo's getting his scout planes, but it's a bit early. Experimental will soon reveal itself and start getting Tyrannicy on those poor T1, T2, Tech-3 units. First strategic bomber on the field from Adjuton. It looks so great.